his life.
There's a volume switch on the other side, or on the actual thing.
1, 2.
Yeah.
I'll start off.
Today, the third.
Today, Julian Assange, the most amazing, loving, courageous man I know, is turning 50. We're celebrating Julian's courage and his work in Parliament Square, which is the best venue for it because he has dedicated his life to democracy. And I want to show the kids. The fact that he's in prison today reminds us that as long as he remains in prison, there is something that is severely wrong in our democracy. Because democracies do not imprison their heroes. Democracies do not imprison journalists. And true democracies do not have political prisoners. Julian is a political prisoner. He's a prisoner of conscience. He's in prison because he acted according to his conscience, exposing the powerful and defending the weak and the powerless. There is no legal case against Julian. The case brought by the US Department of Justice is built on lies. The British courts have been misled by the US Department of Justice's key witness, who has now admitted that he lied, and those lies are in the indictment, and those lies are in the British court judgment. But that judgment also said that Julian should not be extradited over 6 months ago. Yet he still sits in Belmarsh prison. Let that sink in. Julian's imprisonment is built on lies. The sole thing that Julian is being accused of is of practicing journalism, the crime of journalism. This incredible travesty will be remembered in 150 years' time, just like we remember the Dreyfus Affair today. Julian's case is the Dreyfus Affair of our century. History will also remember those who kept him there and those who were complicit through their silence. I ask everyone to help me free Julian. This is not a legal case, this is a political case. Lies put him in prison. Truth and democracy need to get him out. Happy birthday, Julian.
Happy birthday, Julian! We're with you, Stella!
Stella, well done.
Yes, happy birthday, Julian. I first met Julian
Closer,
for
sir.
his 40th birthday,
Closer.
over 10 years ago. I first met Julian shortly before his 40th birthday, over 10 years ago. He was then on an extraordinary mission. But if anyone who knew him well and understood his work would know this was a democratizing mission and a very moral one. That's the thing that struck me about Julian and his work when I first met him, that his was a moral mission. He would rarely say that, he probably did not at the word, but that came across to me very strongly, that he believed transparency of information, which power, like the power that resides behind us, has, should be the property not of power, but of people. That that we as journalists, and he as a journalist, was the agent of people, not as power. That's what journalists should be. He believed that very strongly. I understood that immediately because that's what I've always believed. And I suppose probably for that and other reasons, a certain bond grew between us quite early. But his whole mission was, in a sense, to rescue the democracy that is being so diminished day after day in countries that say they are democracy. But to give people the information that was their right. And he did so very spectacularly in those first few years and kept on doing for as long as he could. People were given information upon which they could act in a democratic fashion. So when Stella says Julian was a Democrat, she's absolutely right. And those who have persecuted, who have continued the travesty of his persecution, are not Democrats. I don't know what they are, but they're not Democrats. It's over for them. And it's over for those who've remained silent. So congratulations to all of you for coming today and for helping to break the silence about Julian. I have seen Julian in Belmarsh, not for some time now, but that this man, this Democrat, who has committed no crimes, should be incarcerated in this fashion is one of the disgraces of this country, along with the trial, the Old Bailey trial, and the precursors before it, in which the judge read her various assessments from a laptop instead of listening to the arguments put before her. The whole thing was not a legal case, as Stella says. It was a political trial on the level of those that were staged in a different form, but the same as those that were staged in Eastern Europe in the 1950s. And that's a disgrace in this country with its statues to freedom and democracy and its iconic building here behind me. Julian's freedom is the most important thing I can think of, and I'm hoping this year we'll see Julian walk free. He's already won the case morally in every way. He's won it legally in that the judge, although ignoring the main arguments that his incarceration was an attack.
Excuse me. Max, sorry. Max.
We'll save ourselves. The first thing we've got to do is stop war production, stop arms sales, close down the factories and turn them into wonderful centres of community centres. Yeah, and I've just stabbed Julian's birthday cake because it represents his heart. And when you kill a sacrificial victim, you put the blood on your face. And this face is supposed to represent the corruption now that is killing you. Yeah.